10 minutes before the sun is supposed to rise. My sister texted me saying they had a tornado warning flash up on their phones in Delaware. She's like, check in on me in the morning. I'll wait a little bit. I'm extra early. It's only 5:25. That's a crow up there. I'm pretty certain where she lives is pretty safe from tornadoes for the most part. But she does live in sort of a trailer-like dwelling. So an alarm like that on one's phone would be a little bit scarier, because it's sort of like living in Florida, where you would worry about your home more if it's not brick or like, you know, big gigantic solid home. Anyway. Trusty umbrella with me just because it started to sprinkle. I just had to switch out my battery. Used up my other battery. They had Stonehenge in New York, I think, the other night, because a short came out showing the sunset between the buildings, and they do the New York henge or what have you. Anyway, here's Ben Franklin and Fire Department, EMT, History of Philadelphia area. This is Old City. To come down to Old City. This is more of a touristy area, one of the spots people would hit up as a tourist. In fact, in this building on the corner, and we'll pass it in a minute, there's Starbucks across the way, Caddy Corner. But here in this white building that looks municipal-ish or bankish was Real World Philadelphia. And they have layers, so there's people above, people below. Sure, Philly felt the need to do that. And now it's whatever it is, aka my Akamai Power and Protect Life Online. So I don't know if it's a life insurance building or what. Betsy Ross house. Big American flag, but 76er style with the circle. I forget what you call it. It's more than 13 colonies. It's a circle of stars, and I'm not sure how many stars are in that. There is a flag with 13, I think, but anyway. And there's a 13 bloodlines. The number 13 pops up. Some people see it as unlucky, and in fact, there's a building or two in Philadelphia that high-rise residential. That don't, or hotels that do not have a 13th floor. I think that's fascinating. That's old school superstition, but most buildings do. In fact, I live on the 13th floor where I live now. I used to take care of two clients down there who lived together, and they had a couple dogs. They had two at first, and then the third one. There's a bird here on the stairs. I didn't bring any food. I think it was extra windy by the Independence Hall area, just because it's a big open lot of land. So the wind has space to blow. Grossman furniture. I-95 is technically all the way up there where there's a wall, and I-95 is on the other side of that wall. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. National, I guess they have a gym in there. Level 1 fitness. China glass silver. That's the old building, but it would be the National food service equipment, but they put apartments atop. So that's the historic thing, would be food service equipment. China glass silver. I guess like China. Everybody used to get China for their wedding registry. What kind of China did you get? It's interesting. I wonder why we called it China. China said. It's been so long since I've heard the word used in that regard, and I'm wondering why we called it that. Anyway. So technically where I walked those dogs, they were on the opposite side of this, the National at Old City. This is a whole courtyard complex, apartment condo. It's hard to explain. They have 2-story apartments that seem suburban-like in nature. It's hard to explain. Almost feels like a studio. That's Elephant's Alley. So it's cobblestone streets with very historic homes. A spritzer of rain. I hope it doesn't downpour. I'm walking towards the water. Towards the Ben Franklin Bridge down here. So I I'll go to the other side, because this is I believe this is the museum for firefighters. Fireman's Hall is this here. Fireman's Hall. And it's a museum.